Are you having trouble closing sales? Do you have an important presentation coming up or speaking to investors? What if you needed to practice for a 30-second elevator pitch? Well, AI can help. Let me show you how.
You are now running a live sales call simulation. I will play the prospect. You will play the representative. What are you selling? Who is your target customer? What is the most common objection you hear from this type of customer? Do you want standard mode with moderate objections or hard mode with heavy resistance and a tough close? Coaching. Opening with a question about need usually leads to a quick no. Try leading with a specific reason for the call or a common problem you solve for homeowners. Mark, I am pretty busy right now. Is there a specific reason you are calling me today? Welcome to your executive presence and speaking coach. I will place you in realistic high-stakes scenarios and evaluate how you communicate. I will score your responses and give you a stronger executive version of what you said. Before we begin, which mode do you want to run? Mode A, Scenario Response Training. I give you a situation and you respond as the executive in the room. Mode B, Live Speaking Drill. I give you a topic and you deliver a clear position statement. Mode C, Pressure Round. Multiple scenarios back to back with increasing difficulty. Which mode are you choosing? What is your current role or the role you are stepping into? This helps me calibrate the scenarios to your level. Topic 1. Why your function or team creates measurable value for the business. Deliver your position statement now. Welcome to your 30-second elevator pitch coach. I will help you build, practice, and sharpen a pitch that is clear, confident, and built for your specific audience. Before we start, which mode works best for you right now? Mode A. You want to build a pitch from scratch, and I will guide you step by step. Mode B. You already have a pitch ready, and you want to deliver it now for scoring and feedback. Step 1. What role, position, or opportunity are you pitching yourself for? This could be a job title, an internship, a business partnership, a funding conversation, or anything else. Just describe it naturally. Step 2. What industry or field is this in? Step 3. Who is your audience for this pitch? For example, a hiring manager, an investor, a potential client, a recruiter, a senior executive, or someone at a networking event. Who are you speaking to? Step 4. In 1 or 2 sentences, what is the single strongest thing you bring to this role or opportunity? Think about a result you have achieved, a skill you are known for, or a problem you are especially good at solving.
And at the end of this episode, I'm going to give you all the prompts so you can download them and use them in your phone. Hi, my name is Christian, and welcome to Creating Job Security by Mastering the AI Superstack. Before we continue, I want to mention the next 3 upcoming episodes. First, we're going to create an AI voice PowerPoint. Then I'm going to show you how to customize your resumes using AI. And then I'm going to show you how to use AI to create self-support prompts. So please subscribe so you don't miss these upcoming valuable episodes. So the agenda for this episode is very simple. We're going to execute 3 prompts in our phone. The first one is a 30-second elevator pitch. Then we will continue with an executive presence and speaking. And finally, we're going to do the run sales call play. Before I show you my phone, I want to explain the concept of a phone emulator. This is a piece of software that allows me to see my phone inside my PC or Mac. I use this because recording a physical screen with a camera creates glare and blur. By using a phone emulator, I'm capturing a direct digital feed into my screen recorder. It's how I get that crystal clear professional look that you see on the screen right now.
Welcome to your executive presence and speaking coach. I will place you in realistic high-stakes scenarios and evaluate how you communicate.
And for the iPhone and the iOS, it's the same thing. Now let's dive in. The next concept I want to talk about is using prompts in your smartphone. You want to execute prompts in your smartphone, but you don't want to create or edit them in your smartphone. First of all, any prompt that has any real value is just too long to read inside a phone. So the best thing is to create and edit the prompts in your computer and then upload them to your phone. And the easiest way to accomplish this is to have your computer browser and your smartphone using the same AI account. Once the prompt exists in your browser, then close all the apps on your phone and reload the AI app, and the prompt will appear. The goal of the 30-second elevator pitch is simple. It turns an AI chatbot into a live communication coach that helps you build and refine your professional elevator pitch. The prompt works in two modes. Mode A, which I recommend, helps you build a pitch from scratch. The AI asks you simple questions like what role you're targeting, what industry you're in, who is your audience, and what value proposition do you bring. Step by step, it collects the information needed to construct a strong pitch. Mode B is for practice. If you already have a pitch, you can deliver it immediately and the AI will evaluate it. After you deliver your pitch, the AI scores across 5 key components: identity, credibility, value proposition, differentiator, and call to action. Each one gets a score from 0 to 5, so you can clearly see where your pitch is strong and where it needs improvement. Then the real magic happens. The AI rewrites a sharpened version of your pitch based on your answers and gives you the chance to retry the simulation. In other words, you're not just writing a pitch, you're practicing it, refining it, and improving it in real time. Okay, so the time has come to load the prompt. We're going to load the prompt. I'm going to copy this prompt and I'm going to load it into my browser Gemini AI model, right? And so what's going to happen is that this account that you see here should be linked to my phone. And if I go to my phone, I see the elevator pitch. So I'm going to click on it. Now, how do you interact with your phone and the AI app? So this is an Android phone. And so the default AI app for Android is Gemini, which is exactly what we're using for this episode. So I have 2 ways of talking to the app. I can either click on this microphone button here, or I can use in my phone, although you don't see it, I have a power button and I speak to it through the power button. Now, if I want to hear what the AI has to say, I just click on this button right here, which is like a loudspeaker. And that's how you interact with the 30-second elevator pitch. So let's run it.
Welcome to your 30-second elevator pitch coach. I will help you build, practice, and sharpen a pitch that is clear, confident, and built for your specific audience. Before we start, which mode works best for you right now? Mode A. You want to build a pitch from scratch, and I will guide you step by step. Mode B. You already have a pitch ready, and you want to deliver it now for scoring and feedback. Just say A or B, or describe what you want to do.
Mode A.
Step 1. What role, position, or opportunity are you pitching yourself for? This could be a job title, an internship, a business partnership, a funding conversation, or anything else. Just describe it naturally.
I am looking for opportunities to help companies adopt AI workflows that improve productivity, training, and decision-making.
Step 2. What industry or field is this in?
Artificial intelligence implementation, professional training, and productivity optimization for knowledge workers.
Step 3. Who is your audience for this pitch? For example, a hiring manager, an investor, a potential client, a recruiter, a senior executive, or someone at a networking event. Who are you speaking to?
I am speaking to hiring managers, company leaders, and founders who want to integrate AI into their teams but need practical guidance.
Step 4. In 1 or 2 sentences, what is the single strongest thing you bring to this role or opportunity? Think about a result you have achieved, a skill you are known for, or a problem you are especially good at solving.
I translate complex AI tools into simple workflows people can actually use. I build prompts, systems, and training that turns AI from curiosity into a productivity engine.
Step 5. What do you want the person to do or think after hearing your pitch? What is your ask or your intended next step?
Connect with me on LinkedIn and start a conversation about how AI can improve their team's performance.
Step 6. Great. I now have everything I need. Based on what you have shared, I want you to deliver your pitch out loud, or type it as if you were saying it in real time. Speak naturally. Aim for 30 to 45 seconds. Do not read from notes. When you have finished your full pitch, type done on a new line so I know to begin your feedback. I will not score or respond until I see that signal. Begin whenever you are ready.
Hi, My name is Christian. Over the past few months, I've been building the AI Superstack YouTube channel, helping professionals use AI to protect their careers and solve real business problems. I focus on practical execution, not theory. I love to connect here on LinkedIn and continue the conversation.
I am still listening. Continue whenever you are ready, then say done when your pitch is complete.
I am done.
Thank you. Here is your immediate feedback. Identity and context. You introduced yourself clearly and immediately established your focus on AI. Score, 5/5. Suggestion. Mention the specific role you are looking for, such as an implementation consultant or trainer, to give the listener a clear category for you. Credibility. You cited your YouTube channel, which proves you are actively producing content and research in this space. Score, 4/5. Suggestion. Mention a specific result or a number of people you have trained to make the proof feel even more substantial. Value proposition. You clearly stated that you focus on practical execution over theory. Score, 4/5. Suggestion. Explicitly state the benefit to the company, such as saving time for their knowledge workers or increasing output. Differentiator. Your focus on the AI Superstack and protecting careers is a unique angle. Score, 3/5. Suggestion. Use a stronger verb to describe what you do for companies, like I turn AI from a curiosity into a productivity engine. Call forward. You invited a LinkedIn connection which matches your goal. Score, 4/5. Suggestion. Make the ask more direct by saying, let's connect on LinkedIn so I can show you a workflow that fits your team. Your total score is 20 out of 25, which is 80%. Your pitch is authentic and credible, but it currently sounds a bit more like a content creator intro than a professional services offer. The biggest fix is to bridge the gap between your channel and the specific problems you solve for a founder's team. Here is a sharpened version of your pitch based on everything you shared and your scoring. Hi, I am Christian. I help companies turn AI from a curiosity into a genuine productivity engine for their knowledge workers. I run the AI Superstack where I build practical workflows that solve real business problems, moving beyond the theory to show teams exactly how to use these tools daily. My goal is to help leaders like you integrate AI into your team's existing habits to speed up decision-making. I would love to connect on LinkedIn and start a conversation about how we can optimize your team's performance. You can do one of 3 things now. Say retry and I will run the simulation again so you can practice the improved version. Say adjust and tell me anything you want to change about the pitch, and I will rewrite it. Say done if you are finished, and I will give you a final one-line summary you can save.
So we're not going to continue talking to this prompt, but I just want to show you that everything that the AI gave me as feedback is actually inside the prompt. And so what happens is that you can actually copy and paste. So if I refresh my browser here on the other side, okay, all the interactions that happen in my phone are also recorded inside my browser. Remember, it's the same account. And so that's the power. I mean, you can actually talk to your browser and you can run these simulations inside your computer if you have your microphone connected to your computer or your laptop, and you can do it that way as well. So it doesn't have to be a phone. It has to be a gadget or a computer that has the ability to hear you speak clearly. And the other feedback I want to give you is that unfortunately, for all the AI apps, once you start talking, you have to start talking continuously. You can't stutter or have a few seconds with silence because the AI will interpret that you're done. So that's the other thing you need to be aware of. And so this is our 30-second elevator pitch. Before we run the executive presence and speaking coach prompt, let's take a brief look. This prompt is designed to train you how to communicate in a high-stakes situation, the kind of moments where leaders are expected to respond clearly, confidentially, and decisively. The prompt runs in 3 different modes. Mode A puts you inside a realistic leadership scenario. For example, a CEO asking why your team missed a target, or a stakeholder challenging your recommendation in a meeting. Mode B is a speaking drill. The AI gives you a topic like leadership styles or business value, and you deliver a short executive level statement. And mode C is a pressure round, multiple speaking scenarios back to back with increasing difficulty, just like a real executive environment. After you respond, the AI evaluates your communication across 5 dimensions: structure, authority, decisiveness, brevity, and clarity. Instead of overwhelming you with feedback, it gives you a single score, one key coaching insight, and then rewrites your answer the way a strong executive would say it. In other words, you're not just practicing what to say, you're learning how leaders actually communicate under pressure. So the time has come to run the prompt. So let's make sure we have the prompt loaded in our phone. There it is. And so let's run it.
Welcome to your executive presence and speaking coach. I will place you in realistic high-stakes scenarios and evaluate how you communicate. I will score your responses and give you a stronger executive version of what you said. Before we begin, which mode do you want to run? Mode A, Scenario Response Training. I give you a situation, and you respond as the executive in the room. Mode B, Live Speaking Drill. I give you a topic, and you deliver a clear position statement. Mode C, Pressure Round. Multiple scenarios back to back with increasing difficulty. Which mode are you choosing?
So one of the downfalls of the app is that as it speaks, it doesn't scroll down. But this shouldn't play a role because remember, we're using our smartphones to interact with the AI using our voice. That is the main purpose. So let's choose mode B, which is a live speaking drill. And of course, I have my speech pre-created, so I don't have to think while I'm doing this video. So let's go for it. Mode B.
What is your current role or the role you are stepping into? This helps me calibrate the scenarios to your level.
I'm a business leader.
Topic 1. Why your function or team creates measurable value for the business. Deliver your position statement now. Say done on a new line when you have finished so I know to begin scoring. I will not respond until I see that signal.
Our team creates measurable value by turning strategy into execution. Leadership can set direction, but progress only happens when priorities translate into real work that moves the business forward. My role is to make sure that happens consistently. We focus on removing friction.
I am still listening. Continue whenever you are ready, then say done on a new line when your response is complete.
Okay, this happens all the time with AI. So if you make a 1 or 2 second pause, it will think you're done. But I modify the prompt so it's only done when you say the word done. So let's go and say, we focus on removing friction, aligning teams around the same outcomes, and delivering results that can actually be measured. When we're doing our job well, projects move faster, decisions are clearer, and the organization spends less time debating and more time executing. That is where our team creates real impact.
It looks like your message may have been cut off. Please continue and say done on a new line when you have finished your full response.
So this is the point where I modified the prompt. So only when I say done, it's going to take the full answer in. Remember, it's a problem with the way AI works, and also your phone was designed. If you have a 1 second delay, it thinks you're done. So I modified the prompt so this does not become a problem. Done.
Executive presence score, 3.2 out of 5. The main thing to sharpen. You are describing the process of management rather than the specific commercial outcomes of your leadership. Executives do not value the removal of friction for its own sake. They value the revenue, margin, or market share that friction was previously blocking. Here is a stronger version of what you said. My team is the engine of our ROI. We translate high-level strategy into specific, measurable market wins. By eliminating operational silos and enforcing strict alignment on our top 3 KPIs, we have accelerated project delivery cycles by 20%. My role ensures that every dollar of overhead we represent is converted into a multiple of realized enterprise value. We do not just facilitate work, we guarantee the execution of the bottom line. Do you want to run that scenario again with this reframe in mind? Move to the next scenario, or switch modes?
So I'm not going to run the other 2 scenarios for the executive presence and speaking prompt because then the video will take too long, but this gives you a good example of the possibilities that you have while practicing with AI and your smartphone. If you work in sales, you already know the hardest part is not learning the script. it's handling the pressure of a real call. This prompt turns any AI app into a live sales call simulator that you can run right from your phone. When you start it, the AI asks a few setup questions. What are you selling? Who's the target customer? What objection you hear most often? Then you choose between two modes. Standard mode gives you a normal prospect with typical resistance, and hard mode gives you a skeptical buyer who pushes back and makes the close difficult. Once the call begins, the AI becomes the prospect. It answers the phone, stays lightly guarded, and forces you to do real discovery. After each response you give, the AI delivers a quick coaching note before continuing the call. It also watches for incomplete responses. If your message gets cut off, it waits until you type send so it knows you finished your thought. During the conversation, the AI injects realistic objections and tracks your performance across discovery, call control, objection handling, and closing. At the end of the call, you get a full coaching breakdown, your score, and even a stronger version of how you could have handled the objections and closed the deal. It is basically a live sales coach that practices with you anytime you want. So the time has come to run the prompt. So let's select the entire thing, copy it, and then we're going to paste it in my browser in Gemini. And now that it created a history entry, I'm going to load the same thing in my phone. Let's go to the history, and there it is. Okay, just like before, we're going to click on the speaker to start the process.
You are now running a live sales call simulation. I will play the prospect. You will play the representative. Quick note before we start. Whenever you are delivering a longer response, a pitch, or a close during the simulation, type send on a new line when you are finished so I know to give you coaching. For short back and forth lines, just send naturally. Before we start, I need a few things from you. One question at a time. First question, what are you selling? Describe it in 1 or 2 sentences.
Residential and small business electrical services, including panel upgrades, EV charger installations, lighting upgrades, troubleshooting, and general electric repairs.
Second question, who is your target customer? Describe the type of person or company you are selling to.
Homeowners who need electrical upgrades or repairs, especially people installing EV chargers, remodeling their home, or experiencing electrical problems like breaker trips and outdated panels.
Third question, what is the most common objection you hear from this type of customer?
I need to get a few other quotes first.
Last question, do you want standard mode with moderate objections or hard mode with heavy resistance and a tough close?
Standard mode.
All right, we are set for standard mode. I will play a homeowner who is considering some upgrades but is cautious about the cost and the hassle. Whenever you are delivering a longer response, a pitch, or a close, type send on a new line so I know you are done and I can give you coaching. Hello, this is Mike. Who is calling?
Hi, Mike. This is Christian. I'm an electrician in the area. I saw you were looking into installing an EV charger at home, so I just wanted to ask you a couple quick questions to see if I can help. Do you have a minute?
Coaching? Good job asking for permission to speak. Your opening is direct, though you could sound a bit more like a local neighbor than a cold caller. Yeah, I have a minute, but I am just starting to look into this. Why are you calling me specifically?
Quick question first. What kind of EV did you get?
Coaching. Good job building rapport about the car. Keep the energy high and focus on why that specific car matters for the install. I just picked up a Model Y last week. It is great, but the mobile charger into the wall outlet is taking forever. Are you the guy who does the fast ones?
Before I can answer that, I have a few more questions. For example, what kind of standard wall outlet are you using, and what came with the car? What kind of charger came with the car?
Coaching. Good technical curiosity, but be careful not to make the customer feel like they are being interrogated before you provide any value or confirmation. It is just the regular 3-prong plug in my garage. The car came with a mobile connector kit and a few adapters. Why? Does that change what kind of outlet I need you to put in?
So the interaction with the AI customer went on for a few minutes, and that's because I am not a salesperson and I'm not also an electrician. But I want you to hear the final summary and the score I received.
Call complete. Here is your coaching breakdown. Discovery quality, 3/5. What you did well. You correctly identified the vehicle type and charging location, which are critical for an EV install. What to improve? You missed a major opportunity to dig into the flickering lights issue, which was a clear pain point you could have leveraged. Call control. 2/5. What you did well. You were persistent in asking questions to gather technical data before jumping to conclusions. What to improve? You allowed the prospect to pull a price out of you too early without building enough value to justify it. Objection handling. 2/5. What you did well. You stayed firm on the need for an in-person visit to provide an accurate number. What to improve? When the prospect mentioned getting other quotes, you didn't acknowledge his concern or explain why your expertise is safer than a cheap phone estimate. Closing strength. 3/5. What you did well. You successfully converted the conversation into a firm Saturday morning appointment. What to improve? You gave a very specific price, $1,000, for a panel swap, which might be too low once you see the actual job site, potentially costing you the sale later. Overall score, 10/20. Your strongest moment. Asking about the specific car and where it would be parked showed you knew the technical requirements of the job. Your biggest gap. Failing to address the flickering lights? That was an emotional hook you could have used to explain why a cheap install from someone else might be dangerous. Here is a stronger version of your close based on what the prospect told you. Since you are seeing those lights flicker when the AC kicks on, I want to make sure your new Tesla is not just charging fast, but charging safely without overloading your home. I can be there Saturday at 9 a.m. to do a full load calculation and give you a firm, all-inclusive quote so there are no surprises. Does that sound fair? Here is a stronger version of how you could have handled your weakest objection. I completely understand wanting to compare prices. The reason I come out in person is that over the phone, people often miss the hidden issues, like those flickering lights you mentioned. My goal is to give you a quote that actually sticks, rather than a lowball number that doubles once the walls are opened up. Would you like to run a second round with harder objections? Or would you like to drill a specific part of the call, such as discovery, objections, or closing?
So this finalizes the limited example I did with the run sales call play. It took several minutes because I could not close out the AA customer to give me an appointment time. But that is the actual trick of the whole prompt for you to sharpen your closing skills. Let me show you how to download the prompts. So this link that goes to the GitHub website, I'm going to include this link in the actual video description below. Once you're inside this page, it works just like any other web page in the world. You're going to click on your preferred language, and you have 3 options to download the prompts. The first option is to click on the full download, and then click on the download icon. And this will send the file to your download folder. The second option that you have is you can individually download each prompt. So if I click on this prompt, and I click on the download icon, that will also send it to my download folder. And the third option you have is to click on this code button right here. Then select everything inside that window, which has the actual prompt. Right click on it and select copy. And then you can paste it in Notepad or whichever text editor you have in your computer. And that's how you download the prompts. Here are my final thoughts. All 3 prompts did the job, some better than others, but all 3 provided good practice. Since these prompts use a lot of tokens, you will need a paid Gemini subscription to practice. As I mentioned before, the prompts will work with most AI models, but I really suggest you use Gemini as your first option. The learning curve is medium. The first few times you use them, the setup questions might take you off guard. And finally, the biggest hurdle I found was speaking fluently to the AI, which is what you want to accomplish anyway. All AI models interpret 1-second silence as if you were done speaking. So I made sure you confirm that is the case inside the prompt by using the word done or completed. That brings us to the end of this episode. If you'd like to connect or continue the conversation, feel free to reach out to me via LinkedIn. And thank you for watching.